Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing another Stephano game and he is playing Zerg as usual and he is going up against Neeb who is playing Terran. So yeah, once again on a relatively big map, 2-player map, so it should be easy to scout. But yeah, we will see the early build-up of troops obviously because that's what we always see. And finally a Zerg versus Terran once again. They are pretty exciting because there are so many possibilities. Well, that goes for a lot of the strategies nowadays. You have a lot of possibilities, and this is before Heart of the Swarm, so keep that in mind. It should say that before this, that it's actually Wings of Liberty. But yeah, I'm kind of making a selection between like new games, but of lesser known players, and really well known players. But then, yeah, I get the older replays because I can't find the newer replays. So if anyone has a suggestion where to find newer replays, or well, replays of famous people, whatever, let me know. Just send me a message here on YouTube. And yeah, just give me a website where I can download them, and that would be very helpful. So since this is an old replay, we can expect a little bit of lag every now and then, because that is the way it works. It is not 100% supported by the system, these older replays. That kind of sucks a little bit, but well, as I said, we'll have to live with that. And yeah, I'm just glad we can still watch these games. I will be doing a new game next time, so of some lesser known players, but yeah, well, until I find a site that actually has the well-known players and the tournaments and such on it, I cannot really do that. And yeah, that's really a shame. Anyway, the Overlord is coming in to scout at the same time. Well, it's still going to take a while. At the same time, this SCV is going out. And yeah, the Overlord still has to scout over here first, and then it's going over there, and then it's going over there. But by that time, the first Marine will be out. It will in fact be out a little bit sooner even. So there will not be a lot of scouting, so he will be able to see that this base is going to come up, but that's about all he can see. The Marine comes in, it knows exactly where this Overlord is going to come in, and it's even going to keep it out of the base, not even allowed to scout that one little base here. So yeah, scout it up to here, and that is not good enough to actually see the base going up. He's going to try to come around the back, obviously, because then you can at least see what's going on. But this Marine really out just in time to prevent that scout, and that is pretty impressive. Of course, these are pro gamers, so you would expect nothing less. You would expect like great things to happen here, because they make these tiny decisions that make all the difference in the world. And although I don't really know Neeb, he must be really good if he goes up against Stephano. Because Stephano is probably the best Zerg player in the world, and that means that he is very high on the rankings, and very high on tournaments as well. So yeah, the scout seems to come back, and well, it did see something here at least. As you can see, it saw pretty much whatever was available. It saw the two bases, it saw the spawning pool, and yeah, there's really nothing else he needs to get from that. So the Overlord, as you can see, it tried to come in from the back, but didn't actually manage to do anything because it got shot again by the Marine, and he's not going to sacrifice the Overlord at this moment to get the scout in, because as you can see, he's pretty low on supply. Now he built a couple more Overlords, so he can now actually try to suicide this in to get vision on something, but yeah, there's not a whole lot of things to see, and he knows that. He knows that the only thing that really mattered was whether or not that expansion was coming up, well, quickly, so early. And for the rest, it doesn't really matter what's happening, because he knows that there are Marines out currently. And, well, the only thing that he now wants to see is the tech switch. So whether it's going to be factories, which it are, which it is, I mean, it is going to be factories. Or it can actually become like air units or mass Marines or something like that. But instead, we're going to have one factory with a reactor, one with a tech lab, and that means Hellions with upgrades, and that should be very nice. Maybe this is going to go into the siege tank production. Depends on what he's going for. He's going for the Infernal Pre-Igniter, and that That means extra damage for the Hellions, so mass Hellions indeed with upgrades. And once that is done, so the Blue Flame Hellions, once they're done, he's going to roast so many drones if he gets in. And that is of course a problem for the Zerg player, because the Zerg player really doesn't have that much defense yet. He's going to have to rely on, well, his queens to defend his base, and he's going to obviously block a little bit. He's probably going to get a spine crawler out, but that's about all he can do. So for now it's just 4 Hellions, so it doesn't seem to be very dangerous yet. 4 Hellions is something he can easily deal with a few roaches, but once that that blue flame comes up, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble, because then the Hellions just run past everything. And yeah, that's why he's going aggressive here. He's going aggressive with these roaches, making sure that those Hellions are in no position to actually, well, get through his base. The little bit of a scout here on the Zelnaga tower meant that he could actually see where the roaches were going. And now he's going in. He has the blue flame upgrade, but the queens block his way. They are going to get in though. And here you go, come on. He is going to roast some drones. Oh my god, so many Hellions. No, he stopped microing them. Okay, going in now, going to kill all of these drones. And look at the micro, just letting some of the Hellions take a bit of damage, but so many drones went down. And yeah, 17 drones for about, well, 8 or so Hellions. And since they're both equal, so if you get 1 drone for 1 Hellion, that's already worth it. And of course he did get the upgrade, but if you get 17 for about 8, then you are very far ahead. Obviously the Hellions have kind of done what they needed to do, and he should start producing tanks now, which he probably will be doing. Yeah, there's the first tank. I could have seen that here, but there are so many things going on that I didn't really pick it out. But the siege tank is up. The first one just came out. Siege tech is coming up as well, and that means that he is going to defend his base against these roaches pretty easily. The roaches are over here. The Zerglings, where did they go? They went over here. Okay, I kind of assumed he would be doing a counterattack. Obviously it wouldn't have worked, but well, at least he could have tried. I don't know where those last few Hellions went, so he probably suicided them in. And maybe got some more drones out of that. Yeah, 26 drones actually total. So yeah, while I was watching about the siege, while I was talking about the siege tanks, I should have followed the Hellions. Sorry about that, but they sniped 9 more drones, if I remember that correctly. And yeah, that's actually really good, because that's another 9 drones for 6 Hellions, and that is excellent. The infestation pit is coming up, which means infestors will be coming out, or he's going straight for a hive, which doesn't seem very likely. But well, if he's going for infestors should do very well against the Hellions, but they're not going to do very well against the siege tanks. Obviously, siege tank not very mobile to begin with, so yeah, you don't really need the the extra stun, I guess. Well, root, whatever. There is an overlord over here, as you can see. The overlord is making some creep there. And well, with that creep, he is not going to be able to land his base. The overlord is going to get taken out by this one marine, but the marine gets sniped by the roaches. Very nicely done, which means that the overlord is still here. So the overlord cannot get sniped unless he has control over this base or has multiple marines here. But he doesn't have multiple marines. He only has tech units, so the best thing to do here would be to build a missile turret, because otherwise he has to build a marine and he has to run the marine all the way over there, and that is a lot of work. Look at this, four factories out, that is insane. Getting a lot of tanks out, and yeah, he could of course also go for a Thor, but he needs to do something about that overlord. The Thor is out, by the way, yeah. The Thor is of course not the most efficient unit against one overlord, but well, it will pick it off eventually. It does die now, and then it will take a long time for this to actually get back to normal. and for him to actually be able to land his base. So he does have 3 bases up then. Against the 4th base here that's coming up for the Zerg player. The Zerg player is going to drop, it seems, or at least pretend to drop. And yeah, he's not actually going to drop right here. Oh, leaves one of the Hellions behind. That Hellion, if it can just stay sneaky for a bit, which it isn't, but if it could have just hit over here and sniped all of the drones that were coming out to well, to power that base, and yeah, that would have been great. Anyway, we are going to land our base right here. There you go. Finally able to do that. And yeah, now everything is going to mine on this base instead of having to long distance mine to this base. But man, he could have landed that orbital command over here, of course, or well, over here, so that the distance would have been shorter. Probably didn't think of that, but that would have been better for his income. But well, all in all, he did a reasonable job of mining anyway. It could have been a lot better though. The medevac is coming out with some Hellions there in the cargo bay, I guess. It does, however, fly straight past an Overlord, which means that, well, it is scouted now. And this Overlord is going to see it as well. So he knows that it's coming in, and instead he's going to run his entire army through the front. What? Why is this? Oh, the medevac is actually halting. It's not doing anything. Oh, this entire army coming in. Yeah, this store is so dead. Wow, so many roaches. How many roaches does he have? 50 roaches. Oh my god, this is going to be huge. There's, however, the drop. He's going to pick off a few of these drones. He picks up 3 of the Hellions back in his medevac, and that is excellent. That means that they are going to be a threat later on. And yeah, they can actually snipe quite a few drones. 62 died already. And 62 is, of course, a huge number. That will hamper your income so much. Well, in the Zerg, in the case of the Zerg, it's not a huge problem, because Zerg can actually produce way more than other races can. But yeah, it is pretty painful. Your income is going to be very low because of that. Wow, the stores are going to pick off all of these units. Are they banelings, or are they're just roaches? Okay, so a few tanks will go down, but at least they're not banelings. They're still reasonably effective though. I mean, they did some work, but yeah, he lost a lot of units there. Only has 6 roaches left, so he lost 45 roaches right there at least. And yeah, that is going to cost him dearly. Obviously, you really don't want that. And all of these infestors are now going to go down. The infestors not really good at staying alive once they get focused. The roaches, however, are very good at staying alive while being focused. Although there are way too few of them. The siege tanks are unsieged, so they do less damage, but they're still going to do a good job. However, the Thors will go down pretty quickly, and they're not really hard to kill at all. Most of the army did go down, however, some of the Hellions got through, and they're actually going to snipe a whole lot of drones here once again. And all of these drones will be taken away, of course, from the mining. And 73 killed now. Let's see the overall army. Oh, yeah, well, it's done. The army was pretty much equal. It didn't really make it a lot of difference. But the worker supply is so decimated here for the red player. And Stephano says, well, it's been good enough. I mean, dude, I can't hold this anymore. And yeah, with these drops all the time, with these harassments, it is just really hard to keep the workers working. You can see this base is not mining. This base is like 1/3 mining. This base is almost mined out, and this base is almost mined out. So he needed this base to come up to actually win this, And since his drop didn't do enough, it took out the army, sure, but it didn't take out all of the Hellions. And that was the problem. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG!